Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, well, it's not the video I intended to make, but we need to anyway. We need to talk about it. So this is the video I kind of need to make. This is something we've been talking about for 6 months now. So my 2025 F150, I'm not buying it. I'm not exactly happy about that. I'm not exactly happy to say that. I'm not bashing the dealership. I'm not bashing Ford. I'm not bashing anybody. Some stuff happened. It didn't work out. It is what it is. It's, it is what it is. So the last update video I made, we got an email from Ford saying that the truck had been delayed again, which was fine. I mean, I wasn't messed up about that, and I'm still not, the timeline I'm not really messed up about. Timing wasn't the greatest when the truck did come in, because as y'all know, I've been dealing with this arm, and as we talked about in the last video, the video before that I made that I was taking a break from YouTube, the day after that video was published, I broke this hand and wrist. So I haven't been working. If y'all remember the blue truck wreck, which caused the shoulder, that was in July. Today is October 14th. Y'all are going to see this video actually in a couple of days, but that happened July the 6th. So your boy ain't been working. If y'all do know, I'm self-employed. Part of self-employment for what I do is labor intensive, and a messed up shoulder's not the greatest thing for labor intensive. So that's kind of why we dropped off on YouTube. Decided to take a bit of a break, a mental break as well, because there was a bunch of stuff going on, and YouTube was kind of the last thing I wanted to focus on or have kind of at the back of my head, hey, you need to do this. So like I said, when the truck did come in, which the truck did make it to the dealership, wasn't the greatest timing, but I was okay with it. I had done mentally figured out how to make it work. Everything would have been cool, whatever, good. So here's where things kind of went backwards. I'm not going to say they went wrong. I'm not going to say they went sour, anything like that. This is what started it not working out. So the dealership called me as I was at physical therapy one day. Obviously, I didn't answer the phone. I was right in the middle of physical therapy. And I made it a point to call back later that day. I didn't reach anybody. I figured they might have been closed by then. So I didn't hear anything for a couple of days. I called back, also didn't get an answer. So it ended up, because again, I did leave messages every time I didn't get an answer, but I ended up just sending an email, hey, there's my name, here's my order number, anything on my truck. Didn't hear anything. Finally, I did get a call back. I don't remember the guy's name. Super nice guy. But, yeah, man, your truck's here. Everything. Cool. Could you get some pictures of it? So on and so forth. And we'll start doing the paperwork. I was going to finance the truck because, it was a sticker on that truck after everything was supposed to have been in the mid to low 40s. I'm on this kick of building my credit anyway, so whatever, that's what I was going to do. I had already mentally prepared for what I was going to put down on the truck. all the back end stuff. And well, we're just gonna get approved over the phone because that dealership is like 8.5 hours away from my house here. And the guy said, okay, I'm gonna go check on the truck, make sure, you know, just double check, and I'll give you a call back. So that's what we did. And unfortunately, he called me back a couple hours later and said that they had already torn the truck apart for a supercharger, lowering kit, wheels, paint match, and interior. And by that point, it was already almost finished. It was sitting in the body shop, waiting on the bumpers to be painted, and I believe the interior to go in it, as part of this package of truck that they do. But offered me a different truck. The other truck would have been more MSRP than what mine was. Obviously, I would have had to have paid the difference on that. But, well, we'll get into that in a minute. But my truck, the new sticker price would have been, like, if we went from here, we're going to like here. Now, he did say, well, we'll cut you a deal on some of the parts, this and that. It still would have been 2 of these steel bodies. I'm just going to go ahead and spill the beans on what I ordered. I ordered a single cab, short bed, 5.0 4-wheel drive, 10-speed truck. If y'all know, the 2025s, they only come that way in a base model. So it was XL, no options other than the privacy glass. That was really the only thing I cared about. So I can pull up the invoice for all the exact numbers and all the, you know, all the stuff, but we're not going to do that. It doesn't really matter. So like I said, the new sticker price would have been pretty high. When I say pretty high, I mean, like, I could have bought the original truck and a steel body. So I kind of pondered on it over a week or so. They wanted a pretty steep down payment, which until I figured out, I could have made it work. But my holdup was going to be, okay, so I was gonna do this stuff anyway to this truck, but I wanted to make the content on it, so on and so forth. I don't need the truck. Sitting here currently, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 running and driving vehicles. Within, you know, I could take the key for the new vehicle and throw at any one of them and probably crack a window. I didn't need the truck. I wanted the truck. The truck was going to be my 25th birthday present to myself. So, I know this is like first world problems. But, I mean, you know, kind of the idea of it was a bit of a deal for me. I've never had a brand new vehicle before the steel body and that thing. The newest vehicle I ever had was the 6.0, and it's a 2006. Other than the blue truck, it was an 09, but same difference. I've never had a brand new vehicle. And again, that was going to be the birthday present to myself for 25, especially with all the previous years of BS. So it was kind of a big deal for me mentally, for sure. And I don't know. It just didn't. I think I waited so long for the truck, and then it was, well, this truck's tore down. The new price is almost 2 of these. If I would have bought that truck, we would have lost out on all the content. We would have lost out on all the things that I personally would have changed. I didn't like the wheels. I didn't care for the interior. I would have paint matched more of the truck. Obviously, I mean, a dealership, the dealer, they painted the bumpers and it looked great, but it's not my style. Because if y'all don't know, I was gonna paint the mirrors, the grill. I was gonna get a different grill with the chrome bars on them, paint the whole grill, paint match the headlights, so on, so forth. And that wouldn't have been possible because, well, all the other stuff would have been possible, but they already started paint matching the truck. They already did the supercharger, the low ring kit. You get the idea. So we wouldn't have been able to build the truck here on the channel, which means I wouldn't have made content, which in turn would have paid for the truck. Not all the way, not fully. I don't make that much on YouTube. Right now, YouTube makes almost enough to fill up the fuel tank on this truck once. But either way, I don't think I have to explain why I didn't buy the truck. Because like I said, with the new sticker price, it would have been almost 2 trucks of what I was originally going to pay for that one. And like I said, we would have lost out on all the videos, so on, so forth. But they did offer me another truck. Here's why I didn't go for the other truck. Again, I didn't need the truck. I have vehicles. And I'm not saying that in an egotistical way. I have other vehicles. I did not need that truck. I wanted that truck. I did not need that truck. And I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all. Again, I know this is like first world problems, so on and so forth, but I just wanted to explain. This is kind of where we're at, and this is why I did not buy that truck. So the other truck, thinking about it, it wasn't my truck. You know, it wasn't the truck that I ordered. So we passed on that one as well. That truck was also more MSRP than what mine would have been. And then also, I believe, I don't know this, but I believe the deal that I got on my truck didn't translate to the other truck. I don't know, there was several $1,000 price difference in 2 base model trucks. So I don't know. Again, I'm not here to bash anybody, anything like that. I'm just here to explain why there's not a 2025 F-150 sitting in my driveway, or whatever y'all want to call this situation. So I have no hard feelings toward anybody. It's just kind of whatever, you know. It didn't work out. It is what it is. It's part of it. And maybe that was the universe's way of telling me that I did not need a single cab short bed V8 4-wheel drive F-150, at least for the time being. So I bought something else. And I will say, dollar for dollar, I don't know if the F-150 could have competed with this thing. I absolutely love this thing, and, well, if anybody is curious, I bought a 2000